After a rough week, we finally had what I think is a capitulation candle. And I want to talk a little bit about this capitulation candle. And after this capitulation candle, if you look at it, you're looking at the recovery today, everything is green and it's very, very, very green. But there are some greens that are bigger than others. And I think these tell the story about what's happening in the market. And I think the big question today is, the question that's on everyone's mind is the worst over? Is it safe to get back into the market? I've got the data here today and I'm going to show you exactly whether the worst's over, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing about it. So today's got a very big, it's a very, very, very special show today. You'll see why at the end. Something amazing is happening on the show. Let's get into it. Let's get into the end of the show. It's amazing how the mood's changed. It's amazing how the vibe has changed. And all that's happened is that actually, well, the market's hardly even recovered. You've got a little bit of a recovery in altcoins. But when you look at the Bitcoin price, let's quickly just look at the Bitcoin price. It's still at about 65,100. So maybe this altcoin capitulation is over. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today. Because if it is over, maybe this is one of the rare opportunities, or maybe one of the last opportunities to actually be able to get into the market before we actually go parabolic. But I wouldn't get in until you actually look at the data. And I've actually got both sets of data. I've got the set of data that shows that the worst is over, and then I've got the set of data that shows that the worst may not be over. And we're going to make a decision today as to whether the worst is over or whether it's not over. So listen, if you're still here and you survived what I think was the capitulation candle, I'll show you the capitulation candle over here. Here it is. Here we go. Let me just show you the capitulation candle. This is what's known as a capitulation candle. When you get a huge sell-off on a day and you get a huge red wick, and then you get a recovery. Now, you can see when you look at other capitulation candles, there's another capitulation candle here. Look what happened. We had a very, very, very green day the next day. We chopped sideways, but then we went back up. Another capitulation candle we had over here. Another capitulation candle we had over here. So generally, when you get these capitulation candles, that is usually a very, very, very good sign to start buying. So we're going to look at that today and see whether it's safe. If you survived the altcoin capitulation and the altcoin crash that happened, what I need you to do is I need you guys to join the 879,793 people that are subscribed to this channel. As I said to you, we're now officially at 10% of our subscribers in the last month. Can you believe it? Banter's been going for 3 years and 10% of you have joined the channel in the last month. That just shows you that bull market, bear market, the Banter fam is here and the Banter fam is strong. Excellent. Very, very, very strong. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show today. I see a lot of you guys are here for what's about to happen later in the show. You guys, I think, know what's happening later in the show. But I think what you don't know is who's actually going to be here for the end of the show, because we have a very special guest here. Come on, are you going to introduce yourself? Okay, well, we do have a very special guest. He's a bit shy, but I think later on he won't actually be shy. He won't be shy anymore. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's look at what happened between yesterday and today. Because yesterday everybody was ready to quit. We had all the capitulation, people telling us if you're in crypto, pivot to USDT. I love that tweet. Someone said, I sold everything I owned. Every coin is now gone. I'm completely out of the cryptocurrency market. I can't take it anymore. Aggressive dumping, manipulation. Everything is so intense. Crypto is over. I'm out. I'm very glad to meet you. Life has dreams. Each is wonderful. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a parody because it's a meme, because every time that the market crashes, people post exactly the same tweet. So, but we did go from a real capitulation feeling to a green day today. A green day today, you can see it. Let me just make this view a little bit bigger. So to a beautiful green day today, and actually like a change in mood. We went from this like red crypto heat map, this capitulation heat map, to people saying, I'm sorry, you sold the bottom. And to other people saying, no remorse for those who sold this week, the market's going higher. So I think, I've always said that I think capitulations are the best time to buy. And I think yesterday was the first time that I saw capitulation in a long time. In fact, to be honest, I don't even remember this capitulation in April, but it must have happened if it's here on the charts. But I think that when you see a capitulation candle, that is the best time to be buying the market. But I think you also need to understand what else happened last night. Because last night, two things basically happened in the market that turned the market. The first thing is we had what I think is the capitulation candle. So that's the first thing that happened. Let's get that out the way. The second thing that happened last night is actually quite big for altcoins. And what happened last night, and I don't think that the market is understanding just how big this news is, but remember that the SEC was actually looking or investigating Ethereum, the Ethereum Foundation, and Consensus. Well, they issued a notice last night. In fact, I managed to get you guys a copy of the letter. It says, from the Division of Enforcement, we are in receipt of your letter. And basically what they're saying in this, that we have concluded the investigation into the above referenced matter with no real charges, okay, with no real charges. So we had two things. We had the capitulation candle, and at the same time, we basically had the SEC basically say that they're not going after Ethereum anymore. And I guess the reason why they're not going after Ethereum anymore is because, look, we are weeks away from the ETF. If you look at the dates for where the ETH ETF may be launched, the ETH ETF will probably be launched around the 4th of July. And so they needed to clear the way so that they're ready to launch the ETF without ETH being a security. And that was probably one of the things that they had to get out the way. And the only thing that they could do to get it out the way was to actually remove this investigation. Because you can't approve an ETF or something and then say, well, look, we approved it, but we're not actually sure what the instrument is. We're not sure whether it's a commodity or a security. I mean, then why did you approve the ETF if you don't even know what the instrument is? And so I think that now ETH is off the hook. Now, why do I think that that's a good thing? We'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. But what you can see, if you look at the bubbles, look at the things that are actually recovering right now and recovering the most right now. It's mainly the ETH base. Look at ENS up 23%. Look at LIDA up 22.7%. IMX, the ETH layer 2 up. Pendle, the real world asset or the yield play, which separates yield from principal, that's up a lot today. Mainly the biggest coins that are up are the ETH plays. Everything's up, but the big plays are actually the ETH plays. And I don't know if you remember, but earlier on this week, we actually did a show. When I came back on Monday, we did a very, very, very big show. And in that show, what I said was we referenced a tweet. This was the tweet that we referenced. We said, would be the most poetic for ETH to lead us out of this consolidation? And now it seems like that actually may be the case, because what I think the market's looking at, the market's kind of saying, okay, look, the ETH ETF is coming. This is what the Bitcoin fractal looked like when between the S1s, this is when the S1s were filed. This is when the ETF actually started trading. We had that dump on Bitcoin. I'll remind you that I am expecting a similar dump on ETH because of the ETH equivalent of the GBTC overhang that it has, right? So that is what people are starting to get ready for. And remember I said to you the other day, one is the ETH trade. I think a lot of people have basically forgotten about the fact that there's an ETF coming really, really, really soon. And as 𝗕𝗤𝗔𝗔𝗓 says, the most poetic thing for ETH is just to lead us out of this consolidation. So I do think, and I stick to this, and the bubbles are actually showing you exactly the same thing. The bubbles are showing you exactly what I said. That probably the best risk-reward trade right now on the market is the ETH trade. And I mean, the reason why that is because I think ETH was almost forgotten. You know, people say ETH was forgotten like the stepchild, like the dirty stepchild, that ETH was forgotten. And now ETH is, you know, we got the surprise ETF. But the problem is when we got the surprise ETF, the market started to go down. And so ETH never had its time in the sun. But the reality is that now ETH spot ETFs are about to launch. And in order for that to happen, they had to basically agree that ETH was a commodity. And now you've got that happening, plus all the L2s, plus you got Coinbase, plus BlackRock building the BUIDL fund on ETH or tokenization. They had to get this all down. And I think that that's setting us up for a very, very, very big ETH narrative. And so I think that the best risk reward bet on the market is exactly what I said to you guys last week. There is a risk that the market will carry on going down. And we'll look at the risk of the market carrying on going down. But it's not about, I guess that after a capitulation like the one that we've seen, if you look at, let's quickly go to others, which is the chart that we were looking at yesterday. And you'll see that once you've had a capitulation like this really, really, really looks like a capitulation. I mean, I know from a charting point of view, you probably got some downside over here and you want to break up above this support resistance level over here. And I think we've just broken up above that. We are just above that now. You want to really, really, really hold this level on the daily chart. But if we do, then it could signal that the altcoins are going to be turning around. Now, if you've got more downside, then you want to be in the safe downside. So let's say this. If you're not sure whether this dump is over, then the idea is to say, look, you're never going to catch the bottom. But to me, when you get a chart that looks like this with the capitulation candle, I would say that that's a good time to start getting back into the market. Now, I started getting a little bit back into the market the other day when I told you, which was a little bit before the bottom. But for my kind of time horizon, I'm not looking to catch the bottom. I know I'm not going to catch the bottom every single time. And I think that it's safe enough to be buying. But because I'm not convinced that the shit is over, then I want to be buying things where the risk return or the risk versus reward ratio of the plays is actually quite safe, which means that, look, if I wanted to go full bull risk on mode, I'd get straight into gaming, because I think that gaming is probably the most neglected sector in the entire market. But that's not the kind of mood that I'm in or the market's in. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to preserve capital, and I'm trying to manage my downside and let the upside take care of itself, right? And so I think that the best risk return play here is to actually get back into the ETH narrative. So when I say get back into ETH narrative, you'll remember that a few days ago, we made a spreadsheet for you guys, and we said, look, we think that the ETH narrative will actually play out in three phases. The first wave will be the obvious ones. It'll be things like Aave, Pendle, Lido, ENS. And you can see that if you look at the bubbles now, look at the stuff that's actually recovering the best. Lido, Pendle, ENS. It's almost like we called it exactly, but this spreadsheet was made a long time ago. We made the spreadsheet a long time ago. And what you can see is that I said that you'd have wave one, which would be the obvious ETH players. And I kind of said to you guys, don't worry about looking deeper at the beginning of the ETH cycle. Put your money into the obvious plays first. Now, let's quickly go through what the obvious plays are. It's not the stuff that you have to dig for. It's not the stuff that you have to go right down into the weeds for. It's not that kind of stuff. The stuff that we're digging into here, it's the surface level stuff. It's like basically saying, look, guys, what are the most common protocols on ETH? Because remember, ETH is becoming very much an institutional asset now. The institutions aren't going to go and dig and get into wave 3 where they look and they find things like Banana Gun and Camelot and Bobo. They're not going to buy that stuff. They're going to go into the stuff that's bigger, more established, has more TVL, is safer, has more users. And that's why I think that the best risk return play right now on this market is the tokens on the spreadsheet. I think that barring the ones that I've highlighted in orange, and you can see that some of them are highlighted in orange, and we'll talk about the ones that are highlighted in orange. I think that if you're going to go for the best risk return now, you're buying yourself some ETH. You're buying yourself some ETH layer 2s, but if you look at the Arbitrum price, Arbitrum's been coming down because of their token releases. So this one, I'm saying a little bit of caution if you're going to be getting into Arbitrum. But then you're going to Optimism, you're going to Aave, you're going to Pendle. Now I think Pendle is going to get a double whammy because it's going to get the ETH layer 2 narrative, the ETH narrative, plus it's going to get the real world asset narrative. For those of you who don't know what Pendle is it creates a platform for separating yield from principal. And you need that when you're talking about real world assets. ENS, which is what Vitalik calls the most successful non-financial app on ETH. That's another one that I'd be looking at. The staking narrative, I'd be looking at things like EtherFi. So this is the liquid restaking narrative. I'd be looking at things like that. Then I would go into things like Gearbox. Now, for me, Gearbox is a big one. You know, it was one of my top 10 highest conviction bets. They just got the Arbitrum Foundation grant them 650,000 Arbitrum. Gearbox DAO will further match this grant to create a user rewards program. And so this is happening right now. The other one that I've added onto this is Velodrome and Aerodrome. So what is Velodrome and Aerodrome? Aerodrome is the biggest DEX on Base. Okay, so we know that it's got a fully diluted valuation of $852 million. But Aerodrome is a fork of an exchange called Velodrome, and Velodrome is the Optimism equivalent. Now, just for those of you who don't know, Coinbase, when they created Base, actually forked or used the OP stack, the Optimism stack. So Optimism is a layer 2 scaling solution for ETH, which allows for the super chain network, which is multiple chains using the same technology, to all integrate via the technology. And so Velodrome is the biggest DEX on Optimism, and I think will become the biggest DEX on the Optimism superchain, and that is a market cap of 187 million. So this one for me would probably be the most lucrative, the one that I would look at the most. Now, we'll talk about memes in a second, but I do want to show you a few things here. Look at how the ETH trade has recovered today. Look at how this trade has recovered today. Look also at how far down these ETH trades have been neglected from their all-time highs. Lido, which is an established protocol, is 40% down from its all-time high. Athena is back down 57% away from its all-time high and back down close to its launch price. Pendle, 25% from its all-time high. Pendle, if you want a safer bet, you're not going to get a 10x out of Pendle, but if you want a safer bet, that's probably a good one to be looking at. EtherFi, 60% down from its all-time high. Gearbox, 66% down from its all-time high. So you're talking about probably the best risk return trades in the market right now, all down between 45 and 60% away from their all-time high, which for me is a respectable correction in a bull market. And now all part of the ETH narrative, which I think is coming into play right now. So for me, if you're not sure as to whether this market dump is finished, then all you do is just go into the highest risk or the lowest risk with the highest return, the best risk return platform in the market right now. And that for me, without doubt, is the ETH trade. Okay, so we've covered that. You know what you need to do. Don't be crazy. Remember that your job is to survive. That's it. We're going through a bit of a choppiness in the bull market. And I remind you again that we're definitely in the bull market because I didn't get the memo and I've been checking my mail every single day. There was no mail in the memo that said that the bull market's over. And I will actually get a mail in the memo when the bull market's over. And I didn't get that mail yet. So for me, the bull market's still intact and we are actually moving sideways. And so what you want to do is you just want to survive. When the market starts running again, then we'll get back into the gaming tokens and the small tokens. But for now, all we want to do is get into the best risk return plays. Remember, we don't want to make all the money. We want to keep all the money at the end of the bull market. And I tweeted something yesterday, and I want to quickly go to my Twitter so that you guys can see it. I tweeted something last night, and it's because I was reading something to my kids. And what the hell is this? I'm going to fire the fucking intern. What the hell is this? What is this? So I tweeted this last night and it said, don't cry because it's over, smile because it's happened. And that was, I said, does this apply to a bull market? Now, the reality is that the people that will smile because it's happened are the people that actually managed to hold onto their wealth through a bull market. Someone actually commented under this and said, if you didn't take profits, did it really happen if you didn't take any profits? Did it really happen if you didn't take any profits? And so we want to make sure that we are the people that are smiling because it happened when inevitably it's over, and not the people that are crying because it's over. And the way to do that is to be the tortoise, not the hare. Because the hare is going into the wild things and getting liquidated all the time. And the tortoise is just saying, look, I'm just looking for the best risk return. I said to you guys before, I used to be the hare. In the 2017 bull market, in the 2021 bull market, I was the hare. I was trying to make as much money as possible. I was a greedy fucking pig. I went after every low cap alt. I had to be in every ICO, every low cap round. Do you know how much of that money I kept? You know exactly how much of that money I kept. In 2021, I did keep a lot, but not enough. I could have kept a lot more if I had just thought about risk return. And right now, the biggest risk return is very much around ETH. Now, you will remember that yesterday, when we spoke about what's wrong with the market, we said one of the biggest things that's wrong with the market is that people took money from good protocols and dumped it into meme coins. And the problem is that the meme coin super cycle seems to be collapsing at the moment. And so those good, the good money, which went from the good protocols, basically went into the bad meme coins and basically evaporated. And I estimate that probably $20-30 billion actually evaporated in the meme coin market. And that $20-30 billion could have been used to fund good quality protocols and to actually hold this market up. It's actually like a form of leverage. Going into meme coins is very much like a form of leverage in this market, a bad leverage in this market. And that's exactly what happened. Now, the encouraging thing for me about that is that I looked at the recoveries in the market today. And the one thing that I didn't see when I looked at the 7-day crypto strength, I didn't see meme coins being the quickest to recover, which for the last couple of days, meme coins have actually been the best protocols leading the recovery, right? And I don't see the meme coins. In fact, this is what the ETH recovery looks like at the moment. ENS up 27, Pendle up 20. This is before the show. this is what the meme coin recovery looks like in the last 7 days. So you can see that maybe the market has realized, hold on a second, we've been shaken out. The froth has been shaken out. I always criticize the froth in the market. Maybe the froth has actually been shaken out and people are actually scared to get into the meme coins. And maybe this time around, when they come back into the market, they're going back into the quality and maybe they're going back into ETH. And so what that's doing is it's doing a double whammy for Solana. Because right now, Solana is suffering because of the ETH narrative. And so people are taking money out of Solana and putting money into ETH. And this is something that's pretty obvious. Now, do I believe that this is the end of Solana? No. But Solana is getting a double whammy here because most of the activity on Solana has actually been the meme coin activity. And if the meme coin super cycle starts to die down slightly, then Solana needs to, I'm not going to say reinvent itself because I think Solana doesn't need to reinvent itself, but I think the users that are using Solana need to start thinking about what's the next use case for Solana. Do I think memes are dead? Absolutely not. But do I think people are going to jump into memes with the same vigor as they jumped in before this? Definitely not. And that's why I said here, when I look at this spreadsheet, which will link below, I kind of said, look, maybe let's not go into the meme coins, even though they will fool us and maybe they'll recover quite quickly. Maybe the best thing is not to go into the meme coins. Maybe let's just focus on quality. Now, that depends on how much risk you want to take. If you want to take risk and get into the meme coins. If you don't want to take risk, then just stick to the highest conviction bets that we've spoken about and which I'll leave in the spreadsheet, which I think is actually below. Let's just have a look here. Is it actually below? You know, you never know with these people that are supposed to link the spreadsheets to the show because I think they take a lot of gummies. And when they come to work taking a lot of gummies, you don't know you never know what's going to happen here. Let's have a look here. The spreadsheet's not in yet, but I'm sure it will. I'm sure it actually will get in here. Just by the way, just a reminder while we're here, remember it's Crown's Trading School starts today. So if you want to get in, this is your last chance to get in. Just click this link here. I can't click the link because I've got the old link cached, but I need you guys to click the link, join. It's the best free trading school that you guys are ever going to get. Anyway, let's go into the question of the day. Let's stop beating around the bush and looking at links. Let's get into the big question of the day. What is the big question of the day today? What are you asking today? I mean, you're basically asking that, right? You're asking, is the worst over for this market? Is it safe to get in the market? Let me show you what the data actually says about whether the worst is over. The first thing, as I said to you, is I don't know about you, but I saw a capitulation week. I see a capitulation week. And to me, when I see a capitulation week, look how many times have we had a capitulation week that hasn't resulted in an upward movement, okay? Here, we had one here, which didn't result in an upward movement. Here, this one resulted in an upward movement. Generally, these capitulation wicks resolve in an upward movement. This is where all the weak hands are actually forced to sell, and they sell, and then they realize, oh my God, what the fuck did we do? We sold, and actually they try and buy back their positions. And I even know people in this office that, get this, genius trades. I'm not going to mention which people it was because I don't want to embarrass them live on air, but I can say that some of them are crypto legends. Sorry. So, what these people did was they bought ZK Sync for 22 cents. Not ZK Sync. Yeah, ZK Sync. They got liquidated at 18 cents. They bought it back at 23 cents. I mean, I don't want to mention names of who did that in the office. I don't know. I don't want to mention any names, but it doesn't matter. All right, so the first thing is, as I said to you, I saw the capitulation week. And to me, when I see a capitulation week, it is a capitulation week. Second thing that I see is, look at the RSIs, guys. Look at what the RSIs look like. This is the 24-hour RSIs. They're all back in the green. We haven't seen this for a long time. Even the longer-term RSIs, even the longer-term sentiment RSIs are back in the green. The majority of them are back in the low red and the green. In fact, if you look at the RSI right now, and I'll quickly let's go to others and see. Let's actually see if we can get an RSI on others. Let's quickly see if we can get that. Here we go. Look at where the RSI is today. The RSI just bounced off the 30. Okay, now I want to just show you what happened the last times that the RSI bounced over 30. So this is where it is. Every single other time that the RSI has bounced off over 30, we've had huge spikes in the market. You can see it happened over here, and that led to the beginning of the full bull market. Now, if you look at the fractal, between 2021 and where we are today, but you also look at it with the RSIs here, what you can see is that it could mean that we're actually heading into the next part of the bull market. So when I look at the data, number one, we had the capitulation wick. Number two, the RSIs are low. Every other time the RSIs have been this low, it's resulted in a huge pump. And if you look at the historical data, the biggest correction of the last cycle ended in late June, and that's actually when we started to go up. Okay, so that is what the data is showing me. The data is also showing me that this cycle is the same as every other cycle. There it is. Every other cycle looks exactly the same. It's following the 2016 and 2024, following the path extremely well. What I do want to see, though, is I want to see Bitcoin breaking out of this trend. But, I mean, whenever it happens, it happens. I'm okay and I'm comfortable that we're just following the normal cycle. Also, just two anecdotal things that happened. The first thing is GCR. He's back in the market, and he usually tweeted. He says that that this reminds him of this fractal over here, and this is what happened. And I agree. The second thing is, which is, I mean, it's anecdotal, but Zoran, who was the guy that was calling for all the shorts and the one who publicly took all the shorts, he actually publicly went long. So he's now completely pivoted and he went completely long. So he went from being short, which we spoke about the other day, to long. Now, he said he was going to hold this until Bitcoin hit 40,000. But now at 65,000, he believes that he's seen enough capitulation. We saw the capitulation candle. We saw the RSIs reset. We saw the sentiment reset. I'm not saying that the worst is over today. I'm just saying, to me, we've had enough pain, and I think it's time for us to go up. But I do have one concern. In full transparency, I want to share that concern with you guys. Okay. Now, again, I don't want to be the guy that suggests, it's up only. I'm going to show you both sets of data. First set of data, capitulation candles, RSIs, we're still in a bull market. Don't tell me we're not in a bull market when the interest rates are at 5%. And they have to come down from 5% to 0. It just doesn't make sense. It would be the first time in history that the interest rate that happened, right? Don't tell me that that the Nasdaq is at an all-time high, and not only is it an all-time high, it's at all-time high, fucking acceleration all-time high. I mean, just look at that. You want to talk about all-time high? It's at acceleration low-time high, at all-time high. But actually, ironically, this is the chart that's worrying me. This is the chart that's worrying me, believe it or not. Even though for the last couple of days, I kept saying, something strange is going on. Because the Nasdaq, which represents risk assets, is at an all-time high. But Bitcoin actually isn't following the pattern of the Nasdaq. And I tweeted about this the other day. And I said, look, the disconnect between the stock market and the crypto market is unusual. Either crypto is leading a stock market crash, and the markets will crash very soon, or it's the other way around, and crypto has to see a melt-up catch-up. Okay, so let me show you what I mean here. If you look at the last time in 2021 when the markets crashed, so let's go to 2021 when the markets crashed, and let's actually align these two charts. So here we go. Look at what topped first. So there's the Bitcoin top over there on 8th November 2021. Then Bitcoin started crashing, and then the stock market started crashing on November 2023. You see that? And so what I asked yesterday was, either the Bitcoin's doing that thing again, where it leads the stock market into a correction, or Bitcoin has a catch-up, melt-up, and it's going to catch up and melt up, okay? So now, what's the answer here? I'll tell you what the answer is. So let's just read it again. I said the disconnect between the stock market and the crypto market is really unusual. Either crypto is leading and the stock market will crash very soon, or it's the other way around and we're about to see crypto catch up, melt up. The one data point that's missing from this tweet, is here we started increasing interest rates. So if you look at when the interest rate increases started, the interest rates increases started here. The inflation problem started in November 2021, and the increase in interest rates started in November 2021. And all this was in a period, all of this here was in a period of increasing interest rates to about here. This time, we are about to decrease interest rates. That's inevitable. The decrease in interest rates is actually inevitable, which means that, I mean, I'm not a prophet, but I do believe that it's the latter. I do believe that the crypto is going to eventually catch the melt up. I do believe what that tweet from Von Spencer said the other day, which said that we've got 5.25% of pure Americano interest rate points that need to be cut. That's exactly what's going on now. So I look at this tweet, which says NASDAQ is showing no signs of stopping and nearing the 20K level. The SPX also trading at pretty insane. Eventually, I'm expecting to catch the full force and just need to break the range for Bitcoin. So this is it. I agree with this tweet. I agree with this tweet over here. I think that we're about to catch a catch-up, melt-up. And I think that that's pretty much what it is. So that's what I think. That's the data. The data shows the RSIs are down. The capitulation wick has happened. I can't keep a straight face here. What the fuck are you doing? Okay, we'll talk about this. Sheldon's just walked in here, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, the capitulation wicks happened. The RSIs have reset. They're below 30 and they're going up. We're also going into an interest rate decrease cycle, not an interest rate increase cycle. And so I think that we're going into a Bitcoin melt up just like every other time. And if you're not 100% sure, all you need to do is just go into the safest bets, and here's a spreadsheet for you, which will be in the description just as soon as the people that do the descriptions actually sober up. So that is what I think is going to happen in the market. We did talk yesterday. I don't know if you remember, we spoke yesterday about this new DLT token. Remember this Donald Trump token? I said to you guys, it's not a real Donald Trump token. So get this. Turns out that today, GCR actually took this bet with Martin Shkreli, because Martin Shkreli was saying he thinks that this thing is real. And then GCR said, cool, I'll take you the bet as much as you want. Turns out this token was actually fake. Turns out that Martin Shkreli himself actually launched it. So Arkham set a bounty of $150,000. 𝗥XBT submitted the bounty. Once 𝗥XBT submitted the bounty, Martin Shkreli actually quickly went onto Spaces and announced that he was actually the launcher of this coin. So I tweeted earlier and I said, look, I mean, I try to understand how this works. But unless I'm misunderstanding something, for those of you who don't know who Martin Shkreli is, he's a convicted felon in the United States. And he is, let me just find that tweet that I made earlier where I said, here, let me get this straight. Martin Shkreli is a convicted felon in the United States, launches a meme coin and convinced people that Trumps were actually behind it, whilst he and insiders were dumping all over retail. Now, I guess that could probably be potentially threatening. All right, so that's that. Now, look, guys, I think we need to get onto the order of the day. Before we do, though, I just want to play you a video, which I think is a super important video for you guys to listen to. And then afterwards, we're going to get into the order of the day. So let me play this video for you guys. You need to see it. Let me play it for you guys.
Crypto is for fucking dorks. I think a really smart man said that once, and I thought, now that I've gone viral within the crypto community, it'd be a perfect time for me to not change my mind at all, because I meant everything I fucking said. You're all losers. For the low.
So you guys are a bunch of fucking losers. All I want to say is you guys are a bunch of fucking losers. You guys are a bunch of fucking losers. Now, my brother and I, top G's in this space, top fucking G's in this space, we don't give a fuck about the money. But you guys are a bunch of fucking losers. And I'll tell you why you guys are a bunch of fucking losers. We don't care about the fucking money. My brother and I, we don't care about the fucking money. But you guys complaining the other day, complaining about the gummy chart, complaining that the chart is only down, complaining, when every single one of you motherfuckers, you guys got your tokens for fucking free. Now, my brother and I, we are the top G's in this space, the top fucking G's, the top G's in this space. We're so fucking rich, we light our cigars with $100 bills. We also have a fucking fire alarm in here, unlike Andrew Tate's house. Now, you guys are so fucking low life and such fucking losers complaining about the free money that we gave you. Because every single 𝗙𝗏𝗡 token was free fucking money. We took no money from anyone. But yet you losers, with your low internet, with your high bandwidth internet, are fucking complaining about the 𝗙𝗏𝗡 chart. You guys are telling me that you want fuck Ron to take some pointers from Andrew fucking Tate. That's exactly what I'm fucking doing today. If you guys are complaining about the 𝗙𝗏𝗡 chart, I did a poll, and in the poll, you said fucking burn it all. Now, my brother and I, me and my brother, we don't care about money. We don't care about $10 million. We don't care. We don't care about it. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you 10 million fucking dollars. Let me show you 10 million fucking dollars. Now, my brother and I, we're so fucking rich. We've got so many hoes with cameras in their house that we don't care about fucking $11,975,000. Bring me another $100 bill. We don't care about the fucking money. Exactly. We don't fucking care. We're gonna burn every single fucking token. Right here, fucking live, we're gonna burn every single fucking token. We're gonna burn 12 million fucking dollars of 𝗙𝗏𝗡 tokens. What we did, we took every fucking token since the beginning, we reconciled all the fucking tokens, even the fucking tokens in the sniped wallet that we sniped to protect the fucking community. We kept all the stuff that we've committed to, all the airdrops that we've committed to, the 𝗨𝗏𝗏 airdrop, the Evo airdrop, to all the fucking losers mining the fucking airdrops, and the rest of the fucking tokens, I'm gonna burn right here fucking live in front of your face with me and my brother. Me and my brother, we don't give a fuck about the money. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Come on.
We don't give it. We don't. Oh.
Burn it, baby. Burn it.
That's it.
Is it done?
The burn is fucking complete. $12 million.
$12 million, baby.
12 million fucking dollars of 𝗙𝗏𝗡 tokens just disappeared. I can't believe I just spent 12 million fucking dollars of 𝗙𝗏𝗡 tokens.
Jeez, bro.
You fuckers, you losers, got exactly what you bargained for. But now don't worry, because we ain't forgetting the people that have farmed. We're going to honor every single one of our fucking obligations. Every advisor token, every 𝗨𝗏𝗏 airdrop token, Evo, 𝗕𝗏𝗕𝗓 token. We've kept a contingency for all of those, and we've burnt the fucking token. We burnt 25% and all the remaining 𝗙𝗏𝗡 tokens. If that doesn't make you fucking losers happy, and if that doesn't fucking pump the chart, I don't know what the fuck else to do. I don't know what the fuck else to do. Anyway, me and my brother are gonna go pick up some fucking hoes in the Lamborghini.